Recent heavy rain and wind caused flooding across New Hampshire. Floodwaters were powerful enough to rip this summer house in Warren right in half and send it down the river, crushing it underneath the bridge.
It's devastating. That's our. I know it's only a summer home to people, but that's our home. Like, we've been going there our entire lives, and to have that gone, it's awful.
Neighbor Tom Babbitt, who recorded it, said he watched the whole thing happen.
The house was halfway sitting out over the water, still had one pier, and I watched the tree come in and take the pier out, and the house just slowly started tipping.
Luckily, Lisa and her family weren't there when it happened.
We were just there this weekend, and thank God that storm happened this morning, because if we were there yesterday, that happened, we wouldn't be here talking about this right now.
For AccuWeather, I'm Talia Reister.
Oj, helvete, kolla dem där nere. Hej!
Oh my gosh, the people know.
Oh! Åh, fy fan! Åh, helvete! Ну, så jävla...
Так, берем все лопаты и вперед! Все лопаты берем!
And if you're heading out for Halloween, then the weather's set fair across England and Wales, largely clear skies. Northern Ireland too. Notice though some thicker purple cloud across parts of western Scotland. And if we add on the blood rain here, we'll see that it could be quite a soggy night across western Scotland in particular. Maybe the odd shower across northern England, but otherwise, as I say, it's set fair. If you're out trick-or-treating, dry and fine, and also quite a bit milder than of late.
What do you know? I'm out blowing snow. Flight service calls me, says, "Hey man, you got an unwanted visitor." And there he is.
gizmo.
What is that stuff, Bailey? What is that?
Thawing a turkey can take multiple days. To be safe, a good rule to go by is allowing 1 day of thawing for every 4 pounds of turkey. If you're really pressed for time, you can thaw a turkey in a cold water bath in the sink. This drastically reduces thaw time to only 30 minutes per pound. To do this, keep your frozen turkey in its packaging and place it in a sink full of cold water. The specific temperature isn't important, just make sure it's cold and make sure to change the water every 30 minutes. If you're only slightly pressed for time, you can do a combination of fridge thawing and cold water bath.
Micah Meyer made his dream of seeing all 417 U.S. national parks a reality. Although his social media posts look amazing, living his dream isn't as glamorous.
Imagine booking your family vacation while you're on your family vacation, and your family vacation, the next one is tomorrow.
When he isn't planning his next trip, he's stressing out about how to neither freeze or overheat while his van isn't running, and his journey is very lonely.
It's way less glamorous than social media makes it look. What matters most is interpersonal relationships, not how many Twitter followers you have.
After his dad died at only 58, Micah decided to follow his dream sooner rather than later. He's also using his status as an openly gay man for a platform to add diversity to the outdoor industry.
One of the goals of my project is to encourage people, no matter who they are, no matter what they see in the ads, no matter what the stereotypes tell them, that they can get outside and they can enjoy these amazing national parks.
For more news and videos like this, head over to AccuWeather.com. For AccuWeather, I'm Talia Easter.
Based on a recent study, even though fish can't tell you about the kind of day they're having, they do seem to have impressions of how it's going. According to a release from the Gulbenkian Institute, researchers in Portugal demonstrated for the first time that fish have emotional states triggered by the way they perceive the environmental stimuli. It goes on to explain, an emotional state is more than a feeling. It is characterized by behavioral, neurologic, and genetic changes. Therefore, it is possible to run tests to infer if the response to a certain stimulus is associated with an emotional state. Those tests were held in sea bream after the fish were trained under favorable or adverse conditions that could trigger an emotional state. The researchers observed that fish responded differently to the same stimulus depending on the way they were assessing the stimulus. Determining those varying states involved monitoring and evaluating interaction or escape behaviors among fish, measuring the levels of cortisol, a stress hormone, and assessing the brain areas that were activated and that are known to be associated with positive and negative emotional states.